In this video, I've asked a member of my team of trainers, Carly, to walk you through exactly how to stop your dog from blowing up every time their doorbell rings. She'll show you how to give your dog another jobs to do besides bark, how to not need to use treats every time you do it, and how to manage super emotional dogs who refuse to be restrained, and a whole lot more. So if that kind of stuff interests you, I want you to keep watching this next segment.
You definitely need to learn some more. Hi, my name's Carly, owner and head trainer of Fetch, fun enthusiastic training for canine households. Today we're going to show you some quick, easy tips on how to help keep your dog from crashing at the door and jumping all over your guests. This is Sierra. Sierra's a 2-year-old female Australian Shepherd, and she's going to be helping us. Now, Sierra has already gone through some basic obedience, but she is still full of energy and has never quite learned how not to chase people right back out of the door. Now, the easiest way to go about helping your dog when somebody new is coming to the door is to give them something else to think about, something else to do. So what we're going to do tonight is teach Sierra a place, teach her a spot to go to in the room where she can sit and wait for our guests to come in. Now, Sierra is very treat motivated and she loves her kibble. Now, since it's getting close to dinner time, instead of just filling her up on those fatty treats, I'm actually going to use some of her own kibble. Make her work for it a little bit, and then when she's done, I'll reward her with the rest of her dinner. So it's always easiest to show your dog new stuff on leash because you have the most control of them when they are on leash. So we've got Sierra on leash here, and as you can see, we've pulled her bed out of the bedroom and we've placed it in a really good spot here in the living room. It's right across from the door, but not right next to it. That way she can still see people and we can still be in her line of sight without her being right on top of our guests as they enter. The first thing we need to do is help introduce place, make it mean something. For right now, place could be banana, for all she knows. It's nothing she's heard before. So using the leash and using a little bit of her kibble, I'm going to introduce place and show her where it is. Sierra! Good girl! Good girl! Sierra! Let's go place! Come on! Let's go! Good girl! Now I'm going to wait for Sierra to sit here and relax. I'm not going to ask her to sit. I'm not going to ask her to stay. All I want her to do is just hang out here at place. Good girl. Now I'm going to expect from her that she wait here in place until I release her. Now instead of just using a verbal release like we do with a lot of other commands, we're actually going to use a tactile. We're going to use a physical release with her. That way she learns to wait until somebody comes and touches her to get out. To let her know it's time to get out of place? Okay, good girl. Now right away, she responded to that. Your dog might not jump right out of place. That's okay. You have them on leash. Gently pull them out of place. Sierra, come on, let's go place. Good girl. Now you'll notice that I go to place as well. It helps encourage them if you move all the way over there as well. Eventually, we expect them to go to place without us, but right now show them what you mean. Go to place yourself. If your place happens to be in a corner or up against a wall like ours is, and you find that you're having a lot of trouble with your dog actually getting there, go ahead and pull it out away. Place. Good girl. Go ahead and pull it out away from the wall and walk through place with them. Sometimes just that feeling of walking into the corner or walking into the wall can be a little unnerving, and they'll just freeze up and not want to go. Good girl, okay. Now you saw right then when we were talking about moving the bed away from the wall that Sierra got out on her own without me letting her know it was okay. What you do is just quickly, since she's still on leash, give her just a little snap of the leash and just gently push her right back in. Now you need to do this a handful of times until your dog starts to understand that that word place actually means something. Sierra, let's go place. Good girl. Now you see there I didn't have a treat, but she was still waiting for it. You don't need to use a treat every single time. Variable reinforcement, treating sometimes and not treating other times, is actually your strongest type of reinforcement. Good girl. Eventually, once you feel your dog is really getting the concept of going to place, you need to start working on yourself moving away from place. I'm still going to use the leash here. Gives me more control. And I'm just going to slowly back away from her. Now, as I mentioned before, Sierra has already gone through basic obedience, so she does know that stay command. But you'll notice I'm not going to use it in this case. I want place itself to be, go, hang out and wait, without using another obedience command. Now, if your dog hasn't previously gone through obedience training, this step might be a little bit more difficult for you, but just take it slow and remember, be patient. If you're getting frustrated, they're already frustrated. And it's always good if you feel that frustration to just take a break. Come back to it if you need to. Good girl, Sierra. So you notice I'm getting further and further away here, and she is able to just hang out there in that place. The second that she starts to move to come off it, I'm ready to get in there, give her a correction, and just physically put her back on that place. Now I like to go by the 2-paw rule, meaning that as soon as that second paw comes off of place, that's when they get the correction. A lot of times, your dog will just give up and lay down. Sometimes when they lay down, their paws hang out of place, but that's okay. Good girl. Okay, yeah, good girl. All right, so now that I think Sierra's really got a handle of going to place and waiting there while I back away, we're going to add in the true test. We're going to add in a guest knocking at our door and coming in. Now, I've had a friend of mine who knows what's going on, and it's always best to get somebody who knows what you're doing, because you might have to shut the door on them if your dog gets out of place. So if when John, our guest here, knocks and Sierra moves, I'm just going to shut the door and go right back to her. My focus for most of the time is going to be on her since she's still learning this process. Good girl in your place. Now I am going to hold just a piece of kibble out there to just kind of entice her to pay attention with me. Very good girl in your place. All right, let's get up. Who's here? Good girl. So I'm going to back up so she knows that I'm still paying attention to her. I expect her to focus on me since I'm still focused on her. Good place, Sierra. Hello, come on in. Good girl. Now, if she were to move at this moment, I'd ask my guest to go right back out and start the whole knock process over. I'm going to go over to her since she's done so well. Give her her treat. Good girl. Give her lots of praise and let her now go greet our guest. That was door crashing at its simplest. Now remember, depending on your dog's previous training as well as their energy level, it may take a few times or it might be just as quick as what you saw with Sierra tonight. Just remember to be patient and have fun training with your dog. See you next time.
Pretty cool, huh? If you thought that was a cool exercise and you would like to learn more exercises that can help your dog remain calm in about a dozen other situations, then I want to make sure that you go right now and download my free report called Reprogramming the Canine Mind. It's about 20 pages long and it walks you through a new type of training method that focuses on training your dog's emotions, his inner stuff, instead of behaviors, the exterior stuff. And I call this method emotion training. It's super effective, and for some reason, no trainers out there are talking about it. It's really cool, and you can get this report totally free over at emotiontrainingfordogs.com. Hopefully this video, that report, and the exercises you'll learn inside that report will give you and your dog something to work on for the next 3 or 4 days, because I'm going to be putting together another free video on emotion training that I'm going to send you shortly, so stay tuned. And it's going to show you exactly how to use a technique that I call the mute method. So again, stay tuned. You aren't going to want to miss this next video. And go right now to Emotion Training for Dogs, download that free report, and get started. And you'll have something to do for the next 3 to 4 days before I get back to you with some more good stuff.